you're reducing square roots, what kind of numbers do you want to look for? Perfect squares, right? And the biggest perfect square that goes into 96 is 16. So 96 divided by 16 gives you what? 6. So we've got the square root of 16 times the square root of 6. Right? Hey, focus. Okay? And you can take the square root of 16, right? What is the square root of 16? 4. I've taken that square root, so I don't write the symbol anymore. Okay? That's the part that seems to get people. Right? Just like if you wrote 3 plus 5, you wouldn't write 8 plus. You've already done the addition, right? So you don't write the symbol anymore. Does that make sense? Okay. So that, no more symbol, and then the square root of 6 just comes down. Or, if you saw 4, you'd have to break it down twice. Same deal. No problem. Okay? What perfect square do you know definitely goes into 125? 25. And if I had 20, how many quarters are there in $1.25? 5 of them, right? So I got 25 times, square root of 25 times square root of 5. Square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of 5. Does that work? So you're looking for those perfect squares. If I asked you to list perfect squares, could you do it? Yeah? No? What's 2 squared? Yeah. I already know you know this. Don't try and play with me. By the way, do you know that it's already 3 free? Isn't that crazy? Ridiculous. Hmm? Yeah. Third day trap. Alright, so in these lovely problems, what do you have to do? Hmm? We're going to add 8 over. Yep. Possible. There should be 2 answers. Okay? How do I move this guy to the other side? If you divide by a half, what's that the same as doing? It's the same as multiplying by 2. Okay? Same thing. Same as multiplying by 2. Okay? Okay. 56. And then we got to square root both sides. What happens when you square a square root? That's the whole purpose, right? So that we just have that x plus 4 hanging out. When you square root a number, what is the one very, very, very important thing you have to remember? When you square root a number, how many answers should I end up with? 2. So it's got to be plus or minus. Did we talk about why that is? If I had x squared equals 9, what could x be? 3, right? Because 3 times 3 is 9. Or negative 3. It could be a negative 3 times a negative 3 that gives me the 9. There's no way for me to know. So there has to be 2 possible answers. Does that make sense? This symbol is what people forget. Don't you forget. If you land on one of these and you have one answer, you probably miss the plus or minus. And the plus or minus always goes in front of the square root. The square root is what causes it. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. What do I have to do next? Knock the 4 over. So I've got x equals negative, let me write that a little neater. Negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 56. You do have to do one more thing. What do you got to do? Say. What's the one other thing you got to do? Yeah, we've got to break this number down. We got to simplify it. Okay? So if you break that guy down, what do you get? 4 times 14. 14 is made up of what? 2 and 7, right? So there's no perfect squares in this number. That's going to be as small as it gets. So 2 square root of 14. We got a plus or minus. We got a negative 4. Do you know why we put the 4 in front of the square root number? Because this is irrational. And you should probably be in the lead if you're with somebody who's irrational. Unless you're the irrational one. Huh? Excellent. I love you. Questions, comments, concerns? Yeah. Nice. How are we feeling about these?